And this one for the Krusty Krab!
For the Krusty Krab!
Oh!
Yay! Win this one because I told you to.
Because you told me to!
Face sticks! Get your face sticks here!
No amount of therapy will ever make this moment okay.
All right, Pinhead, your time is up.
Who you calling Pinhead?
Ah, how curious! Hello, my dear children, welcome to Talking Cenobites, where we discuss all manner of all things horror, monsters, and other ghoulish things in media, just not modern politics. I am your glorious host, Dr. Ian Vanderberg, Plague Doctor, absolute madman, and the great Cthulhu's most loyal servant. Yeah, more like most loyal simp. And this is Jetsparks, the idiot of this modern age, who I am in partial control of, and more stupid considering that he got the idea for this show from a cartoon of all things. Hey, thought it was a good idea at the time. Yes, indeed it was. Not. But anyway, since this has always been an open mic, so we shall say to all of this, come in if you dare. But with that being said, welcome, and of course we want to bring in our very first guest, Drudat Underground Gaming.
I always dare.
Well, good, because we're looking forward to something pretty amazing here.
I gotta
we'll be
talking
talking about.
So every time I hear Gangster's Paradise, I hear in my head, I've been spending most of my life living in a gamer's paradise.
Well, in my case, I've been living in a dark age paradise.
Everyone hears what they want to hear, so.
Indeed they do. Now, that being said, we will be looking at more videos from the channel Wild Such Gaming about the Left 4 Dead Special Infected profiles. Starting off with literally the one thing that we used to do back in my day with witches. We burn them. And yours truly may have also been considering I've done alchemy before. I have been accused of such things, and I have been burned to the stake before, but let's give a watch.
You are all hereby found guilty of the crime of...
That bitch.
I sentence you
Bitch.
to be burned at the stake until you are deemed fit to re-enter society.
Fire it up, boys. See you in hell.
Goodbye, Mother.
How horrible.
If they're really witches, why don't they...
Okay, that's a little creepy. But considering what's going to be said next, it seems pretty logical that most people would assume this.
It sounds like
Which?
you talk to me.
Rochelle.
Never mind.
Another rousing round of votes came in thanks to the Patreon donators and YouTuber Live Super Chatter. Special thanks to contributors Lovable Tester, Florian Bibel, Brendan Costa, Emerald Wolf, Dancing Wolf, Xeno Salvador, Twilight Duck, Evolve This YouTube, Kylie Elizabeth, Grant Sicard, Mortal Destroy 1, Super Saiyan Adam, Deja, and XX Shadow XX. Thanks to your contributions, I can keep these videos rolling. This week we have the overly dramatic, manic depressive, hasn't had a pedicure since the 90s, staying at home with a pint of ice cream and bottle of wine on Saturday night, lives in her underwear and close to diabetes, only unplayable special infected herself. This week it's special infected profile.
Bitch.
Hey now, no need for the profane language. This week we're doing the witch. Coming in as the first female special infected to try and maul the survivors, she is the only infected the player cannot take control of. She is mostly a passive infected who will sulk to herself, much like any angsty teen if they aren't already acting like the hunter. Even though she isn't playable, this doesn't take away from the sheer dangerous nature of her existence. Designed as a high-risk infected that survivors must avoid or feel the consequences, she served as the first infected Left 4 Dead fans would ever witness when the first trailer for Valve's rendition of Left.
And yet, also, there have been many people who actually tried to do something very stupid when trying to deal with that creature. People have tried to shoot her, burn her, and that is a very 50-50 success rate. So, I personally would not advise doing it. What I've seen of that
I was
thing.
about to ask what, but you already answered my question before I even asked it.
Oh, and what was the question?
I was going to ask, and what do they do? But you already answered that.
Yes, people have tried to have tried to crown the witch in the face with a bullet, or they have tried to burn her, to not so great success. Oftentimes, you have to be extremely, extremely lucky for that to actually occur and insta-kill her.
I think I've tried playing only one Evil. Was that Evil Dead that they said?
No, this is Left 4 Dead.
Oh, Left 4 Dead. Never mind. I've never played that.
Well, I've been playing it for Friday Night Biohazard. Correction, we've been playing it, Doctor. Oh, of course. I forgot you're here, Sparks. I totally forgot I'm possessing your body most of the time. Haven't forget. But let's continue on.
Left 4 Dead was released back in 2008, crying and luring unsuspecting individuals into thinking a scared living woman or child was in need of help until a terrible fate awaited them. Appearing with pale, almost dead-like skin and a tattered assemblage of granny panties,
Oh my god!
witch,
Wearing granny panties!
and a pajama bra. Her hair has turned grayish white, but retaining its rather long length. Her eyes a sunken in, whited out shape until a light reflects a red demonic gaze back at the survivor. Her physique actually pretty flimsy and more skeletal compared to her special infected counterparts, which may be due to some medical.
Every single one of those buggers completely freaked the head out of me, to put it in mono context. And with that being said, look who has arrived. The great Allstein himself, Bear64.
Bear64 has joined the battle!
And he's showing us his bare gray nipple. Your logo is the white and gray nipple logo.
Well, here's the thing. I'm actually on my phone. Like, listen, like, I have it on my lap. So I'm doing StreamYard on my phone.
So one of us is talking to your crotch right now, and we're not sure who.
Oh, dear God.
Well, I do call y'all cocksuckers.
Vandenberg, why? That was my lunch. Oh, sorry. Nah.
Also, alright.
Oh, God, it's all over my ribs. Yeah.
You know what? Vandenberg did it. He ruined your TV. He did it.
Right. I noticed that something was very wrong with Sparks' television before we went live. Yeah, I don't exactly know what the heck went on with it. It was working fine earlier this morning, and then just suddenly just stopped when it started poof. I mean, still the light came on and whatnot, but it just blinks 4 times and it just shuts off and then goes right back to having a solid red light again, and it just doesn't really turn on or do anything. It's just really weird.
So your TV is having a red light. So is that a TV equivalent of a red ring of death?
In a way, I think. I don't really know. But I mean, like I said, I was using it earlier. It was just fine. I went out to go get some stuff for the winter, some insulation stuff I can put under my windows.
Red epilepsy of death? I don't know.
I don't know what it could be. I really don't know.
medical and mental conditions that were amplified by the green flu outbreak. This magnification the root cause of her most noticeable physical and vocal qualities. Her nails growing to deadly lengths can either incapacitate or even kill a survivor in one swipe or proceed to tear them to shreds while they're down. She is also seen and heard constantly crying to herself. This constant sign of sorrowful crying may be due to a serotonin imbalance. Serotonin, the chemical triggered within the brain that we can...
So she's been diagnosed with SAD.
So a Tumblr bitch.
I don't know what Tumblr is, but yes, let's go with that.
Okay, I guess
it's a
nowadays
really
Twitter.
crappy app, Doctor. You really don't want to look on there.
connect with happiness, and due to the imbalance, the witch pre-infection would be suffering from...
Oh, well, if you want to find a cure for happiness, there's always laughter. There you go. That ought to cheer the lady up.
There's also watching Nerdrotic try to play video games.
Oh, I'm not aware of who he is. Doctor, you see the world through my eyes. He does Friday Night Tights. Oh, yes, the man with the beard and the glasses. I see. Which one is he again? There's so many people with weird glasses. I mean, look at you, Sparks. I don't have a beard, Doctor. But maybe you should grow one then.
I'm not touching this joke.
Clinical depression. Psychological trauma may also be severe enough to trigger the infection to transform a woman into the witch. Evidence of this occurring can be seen in The Passing when the witch is seen at the altar crying to herself in a wedding dress. The mental distress of being left at the altar would mentally destroy the poor...
Wait, say again, Bez?
I said I can relate.
Oh, you were left at the altar?
Yes, in a wedding dress crying.
What?
No, I'm picturing either Cindy Bear or Yogi Bear left at an altar in a wedding dress.
Oh dear. Oh.
Hey, boo-boo,
Right.
I think she stood me up.
But Yogi, I got a picnic basket. It'll be fine.
Well, Yogi, she thought you loved picnic baskets more than her.
I think you might need a stiff drink in that picnic basket. Let's hope there's some nice white wine in there. Or beer.
Or anything with alcohol at that point would be suitable.
You know, Yogi would accidentally steal a wedding ring from a picnic basket.
You're sure it sounds like Crackerjack wing? Crackerjack wing? What the fuck, Dr. Vandenberg? Crackerjack ring. I said ring. Get it right.
Hey, that was
okay. Where do you say, Doc?
where I'm from.
What?
I think somebody's slurring their words already.
Well, I think it's because I'm in the
Doc.
car.
Don't you slurring your words there, you old crusty old bag of bones. But then again, he's nothing but a pile of dust at this point. Oh,
Hey,
Sparks, if I could take full control of you, the whole world would be a much better place. What about my family? You've been nothing but a disappointment to them for the last 10 years of your life. How do you think they feel? Yeah, maybe that's true.
Well, I'm very proud of you, Jet.
Thanks, Drew. I'm not.
Of course.
I'm mad. What do you expect?
Right, poor thing. Considering at the start of the infection, the witch was the only...
Excuse me? Bez, I wonder if something's up. Oh, it seems we might have lost Bez there for a second there.
Well, needless to say, SpaghettiOs.
Oh, wait, there he is.
Hello.
Female special infected until the mutation developed enough.
And that there is how you kill a witch.
Part of the infection, the witch was the only female special infected.
But it's a very rare occurrence you actually can manage to hit her right between the eyes. I wouldn't recommend it.
Until the mutation developed enough to make the spitter and a female version of the boomer. But perhaps being a female heightens the chances of related hormones causing the infection, as well as heightened chances of mental distress occurring. But there may be a different reason as to why the witch would be crying so frequently besides emotional and mental damage. She is seen to be somewhat anorexic, even compared to common infected who are starting to show signs of malnourishment.
So she's that chick from... So she's that chick or whatever. What was her name? Forget.
From what series?
I know. I think it was some girl who was a YouTuber who was anorexic or whatever.
The one that can't gain weight at all.
I think so. I don't want to say her name because, of course, we already know the evil Lord Susan may be watching.
Well, I know who you're talking about. The one like everybody's like, oh, she's unhealthy, and yeah, she's unhealthy. Being skinny and all, overly skinny. Let me make that clear. Overly skinny.
I'm pretty sure I don't know, and I also know that I don't care.
Yes, but sometimes there are some things women will do to look pretty for men.
Anorexia or some kind of eating disorder would cause a significant lack of fat, which the infection would need to feed off the...
Oh dear! I think that dear woman needs like maybe 50 sandwiches or so. Is that the saying that goes in this modern age? Yeah, Doc, that is.
Body's fat and muscle to not only thrive, but survive. When a lack of body fat and muscle is occurring within a viral outbreak, the virus and even body itself will start tearing down vital organs just to keep the body working.
Basically, your body is cannibalizing itself by destroying your muscle.
And that's probably a good working of the human body itself. You will sacrifice whatever sort of pieces of bodily food you have stored up in order to survive the body. In fact, I actually did an experiment regarding frostbite. I just leave a corpse out in the snow and watch. What was that term? Oh dear.
Your body will sacrifice what it thinks it doesn't need in order to try to survive.
Oh yes, oh yes, now I remember. I let frostbite and rigor mortis. I don't think that is rigor mortis. It's necrosis. And you claim to be a doctor of science.
His doctor's outdated, so...
Yeah, basically a body will go to necrosis. Yeah, it turns out Dr. Vandenberg did an experiment on throwing a corpse out in there, and it was already decaying, so it was already dealing with necrosis by the time its fingers and toes turned black. Yes, that was a pretty shitty day, but hey, I got my results I wanted.
All I know is that I'm no doctor unless you ask Drunk 3PO, then he'll misread my name as Dr. What's Up, but that's a whole nother story.
Huh?
In other words, I rated a Geeks and Gamers stream like about a year and a half ago. I don't know how long it's been. Drunk 3PO was hosting it on Twitch, and he misread Drew Dat Games at the time is what it was typed out as, and he misread Drew Dat Games as Dr. What's Up is rating with a party of however many I had. And I was yelling in the chat, my name is Drew Dat Games, not Dr. What's the fuck up. And ever since then, I created the character that I occasionally bring out on once in a blue moon of Dr. What's Up on Twitch or YouTube streams.
I think I'd certainly like to meet him.
Let me go get him. I'll be back in a minute.
Oh, I would just love to have the fell here right now.
Mass. In women, undernutrition often shuts down the menstrual cycle as the body tries to reduce energy expenditure. Bone density...
Thankfully, I'm hoping that we didn't have to go through to a whole lot of TMI with that one.
Well, I might get rid of the menstrual cycle, but she's always PMSing still.
Again, TMI. or sign,
Even
TMI.
causing severe amounts of pain. And since the green flu enhances all forms of a previous ailment, it would come to pass that the witch would feel these severe pains even worse, possibly even being the only infected to feel pain. No wonder she is crying. I'd be crying like a bitch. This explanation of anorexia.
Second, I had never thought to do that. A chainsaw to the back. Ingenious! Now I know what to do next time I'm body that biohazard.
So, Dr. Ferber, you said you want to meet Dr. What's Up. Well, I have him here for you.
All right, let's meet him then.
Hello, everyone. Dr. What's Up here. It's a pleasure to meet everyone. As you guys well know my history, my father is Drunk 3PO. That's how I, Dr. What's Up, came into existence. When he breathed life into me when this Drudat Games fellow, or Drudat Underground Gaming, or whatever he calls himself these days, decided to raid a Geeks and Gamers Mario Kart stream. Drunk 3PO misread his name, giving birth to me, Dr. What's Up. So it's a pleasure to meet you, Dr. Ian
Vanderberg. My name is Vanderberg. I hate it when people get my name wrong.
Drew, you told me that's what you said his name was. You're an idiot, Drew. Anyway.
Well, at least that's one thing. One thing he gets That's one thing he gets triggered by. Other than Phil TMNT. Oh, you mean the hot dog man? Oh, seriously. If it were up to me, I would have given him multiple lobotomies. Even I don't think that would even do enough.
He's the guy that puts ketchup on pizza, right?
Yes. A very strange man indeed.
Considering that I'm also a doctor as Dr. What's Up, I think that he's off his medication.
I can't help you with that. I mean, I would say get therapy, but again, I'm no therapist. I will just gladly do some very torturous experiments on you to hopefully change your behavior. I just go for the more direct approach. I don't ever do more things
of something that Drudat Games proposed a couple hours ago of switching that filled guy's ketchup bottles, emptying out the ketchup and putting hot sauce in it.
That is some petty, childish bull.
I told you that you were an asshole, Drew, and this proves it. Anyway.
I'm starting to think you're not really a doctor, are you?
Well, considering that my father just named me Dr. What's Up, Doctor's my first name, and What's Up is my middle name. So technically, I guess since my father's Drunk 3PO, I guess my full name is Dr. What's Up 3PO, I guess.
I was thinking of what's up your ass.
Oh dear. I'm getting flashbacks from Jim Cox's colonoscopy I did on him once. Wait, no, that was Don, I seem to mix those two up. What was it again? His prostate exam doctor? Yes, that was it! Ugh. I cannot believe I had to stick my finger up his bum. Oh, gosh.
Your canes never smelt the same way again.
No. Oh god, they still smell like that. Oh god. I gotta get rid of these. Moving on.
Even worse, possibly even being the only infected to feel pain. No wonder she is crying. I'd be crying like a bitch. This explanation of anorexia and malnourishment would explain why the sugar mill in Hard Rain has such a high number of witches roaming around its quarters. Sugar is an easily digestible carbohydrate.
And that I've always found the craziest thing. That's a lot of good reasons why the sugar mill in that campaign is so scary. Kathy Skywalker has arrived. And Killzone as well.
Oh,
Welcome,
hello,
both of
Kathy.
you.
I can't chat because I'm I can't look at chat because I'm driving.
Well, I say, dear Orsine, you should buckle up and be safe. You should log off for now and make sure when you're actually more in a more safer location, you should receive
Well, the thing
contact with
is,
us.
I have the phone on my lap, and I'm just yelling at the top of my lungs. I'm not even looking at the phone.
Oh. I see. I
I
see.
mean, that's just mostly chatting, anyways.
Right. All right. But let's continue.
You see, I'm a Floridian. I'm not a crazy Floridian. Okay, not like I'm more minorly crazy. Okay, major crazy.
What more mad than I am?
Don't fuck with Florida man.
Oh yes, the infamous Florida man.
So should we call you Florida Bear then?
Huh. Interesting. Florida Bear.
Florida Bear. Seems like that'd be appropriate. But I think even alligators tread in fear of you.
Dude, I would actually pay money to see alligator versus bear. Let's go.
Yes, indeed, Kathy Skywalker. Ketchup is indeed an abomination on pizza.
I think you will only find one person that disagrees with that.
Yes, and he's the same type of person I would love to give a lobotomy to. But he's not here, is he? In fact, I actually dare you to come here, hot dog man. I dare to see you challenge me.
If he's a hot dog man, shouldn't he be smearing ketchup on himself?
I would warn you, he likes to put things between his buns.
So yes, this witch woman likes to eat sugar.
That can suffice for some kind of nutrition for the body to break down. The witch, before becoming infected, may also connect the sweet taste of the sugar to a small happiness it experienced during its possibly depressing life before. She adorns a set of razor-sharp claws that...
And that is truly scary. Seriously,
Okay.
woman, get a manicure.
Alright, so a question about the witch. That one is the one that screeches or some shit?
Yeah, it's the one that cries. And you disturb her, she screams and basically insta-kills you, essentially.
Yeah, so she likes sugar, apparently.
Yes, it seems it does. I mean, again, if you are manic depressant, why wouldn't you stress eat?
See,
so she's like, a teaspoon of the sugar makes a face go down!
and she stereotypically shops at Abercrombie and Fitch.
And what is that again? I'm not aware of that one. And who are they? Are they performers of some kind?
A clothing store.
Oh, my time. You want to get rags, but that's all people could wear. Only royalty could afford the most.
Except for
loyalist
Abercrombie and Fitch only sells like up to a certain size, and it's the size that nobody is because it's too damn small.
So it's very petite. Interesting.
Yes, indeed.
That's only one word she will never forget.
Can tear a survivor to shred within seconds, and in the comics, even rendered Lewis incapacitated to where he could...
Yeah, there actually is one. It's actually there's actually a lot of places you can find and read it. It actually takes place a little before the sacrifice campaign in the game, which is DLC. I mean, if you get 2, I think you get all the other Left 4 Dead 1 campaigns all ported over to 2. I mean, basically all you really need is 2, and you get some DLCs. If you get some DLCs, you pretty much get all of them. I know. Killzone got all of them, and I think we had our little mishap on Friday Night Biohazard last night. We tried to get.
I wasn't there too long.
Huh?
I wasn't there too long. I had to take a shower, and then all of a sudden, more stuff popped up.
Yeah, I understand. But like I said, though, we were like 2 safe rooms away from the finale, and we could have helped got him that achievement, but like the whole game just disconnected on us. It was a really, really big mess. I can't believe it actually happened. Yeah, just when you do the replay, it's up there on my channel. It was just like it was almost soul crushing for me.
Dude, that touches my soul, and I wasn't even working for it.
Yeah, it was. I mean, sure, it would have been cool to actually have. We almost nearly lost it there for a second. We almost lost it, but I found it on the ground when we were going down at one of the down parabolas of the coaster on the Screaming Oak. We found it, and barely managed to get to the safe room with barely any health left.
Am I the only one that notices the female zombie in the purple bikini here?
I think there's multiple of them in this image.
Jeez, Drew, keep your Jesus Christ.
Jeez. That's certainly terrifying. But then again, I often think that's probably what those ethos actually look like when they don't have all that fancy makeup on.
Barely even walk. Now, in my What Exactly is the Infection in Left 4 Dead video, I asked people what may be the root cause of her drastic nail size, and boy, I have been getting comments every day for the last 10 months. Some say,
it's Edward Scissorhands.
That it's her anorexic symptoms causing the body to decay, and in a deathly state, the hair and nails would continue to grow since dead skin cells are what create both. But her anorexia would actually cause her hair and nails to become brittle. So being able to cut down a human with brittle nails doesn't seem plausible. Daily supplements for her eating disorder.
I'm sorry everyone had to see that.
Secluded and doesn't work in tandem with other infected or to actively hunt and kill uninfected individuals. She solely appears as a roadblock the survivors must either extinguish quickly or stealthily sneak by. Either way, she is a high-risk individual that could do some major damage to a group of survivors, specifically
But she's
one.
so
In her
cool.
case, her behavior and maneuverability change completely depending on the time of day. In the darkness of dusk till the break of dawn, she will stay in a depressive sitting position, maybe due to her previous uninfected self needing to rest during the nighttime. She will remain seated until a survivor approaches them, a light bathes them, or when guns are being fired close to her proximity. She will slowly rise up and begin to grunt and growl as she stares at the survivor who initially started to piss her off. Being sensitive to light and external sources, she will eventually stand up and
So it sounds like the modern women on Twitter who basically get pissed off when you just so much as look at them wrong.
So she's emo.
It would seem so.
reveal her claws to threaten the survivor. The witch has a very discernible musical.
What?
Huh?
I said it's not a phase, Mom.
Yes, eventually it is always a phase. It always is. Oh, doctor, I can only imagine what you look like in your old body with wearing all that dark makeup. Oh gosh, they would have thought I was a woman back then. That would have been truly disgusting. Again, in my time, that kind of stuff was immoral back then, and also probably one reason why you probably could get burned at the stake. You were provocative, yes, they burned you at the stake. Yes, that's one thing they don't teach you in the history books.
Well, I do know that modern guys in San Francisco would have liked that, Doctor.
Indeed. Oh, yes, and are they also the people who also drop deuces on the streets as well?
I don't know. I've never been to California, fortunately.
Well, this time it's best never to go back to it. As far as I can see, yes, that place is doomed. Let's just hope an earthquake comes and destroys everything.
All I know in the town that I live in, everyone seems relatively normal. Well, I should say the town that Drew That Games and I both live in. Right, Drew? That's absolutely right, Doctor. What's up?
Follows her. The closer you are to her, the more you will hear a demonic child choir begin to chant. When she is attacking, that choir will begin to scream bloody murder.
That is always something I love to scream. Bloody murder! Bloody murder!
So
Daybreak.
So what were you screaming during the Black Plague then, Doctor?
Oh, nothing. Just doing my job, taking bodies out, burning them in the street, taking a few of them to conduct a few experiments on. You know, the usual, typical Tuesday. Or a torture session. Yes, Dark One, or a torture session. Yeah, I love to torture. And that's the one thing some ladies need to know about me. I love to torture everything I see. Okay. I think our evil demonic interdimensional spirit may also have a few kinkiness to him. You're damn right I do.
She will stand up on 2 feet and mope around
in San Francisco.
Oh, I'm pretty sure those boys would definitely love me. But I'd be the one dominating them and torturing them, and they better take it. Yeah, they're gonna love it.
They would. They take enough from their governor. I'm just saying.
Well, Paul, again, let's not talk about politics here.
Aimlessly while shielding her face from either being seen or to protect her face from the sun's
damn baby, like 3 witches over
bright
there.
rays. Goths don't tan, homie.
Oh, so those people are. Those people look bizarre. I mean, if I went to some sort of these so-called goth clubs, I would not feel the least bit out of place with my attire.
It's a bit harder for her to get pissed during daytime as she is less susceptible to flashlights and loud noises since daytime already is blaring the sun at her and daytime is usually a source of more noise to occur. She will still growl and fan her claws away from her face when she is irritated. When either she has had enough of the survivor being near her, light being on her, when she is shot or hit by a grenade, the witch will have had enough and begin to chase the survivor that she was triggered by. The screen will show which player has startled the witch.
Okay, speaking of that sounds very...
And realism will cause instant death, while advanced and below will just down a victim. When downed, she will proceed to...
That's another thing you gotta take account in the game. Yeah, on higher difficulties, she will insta-kill you.
Just maul the person to death. If she isn't killed and succeeds in snuffing out a survivor, she will look both left and right at her surroundings as if she realizes she went into a blind rage, and then cover the back of her head and run away crying, where she will eventually just disappear completely if running long enough. When the witch is in a full sprint, she will knock survivors away and cause them to stumble. If you stay in her way for too long, she will forget her original target and actually bring you down instead. Maybe because she got annoyed by the situation. I would be too. I hate when people walk slowly in front of me. The witch can proceed to attack a second target if she downs a survivor and then another survivor chucks a bile bomb or Molotov at her or hits her with incendiary rounds, lighting her on fire. Although throwing a Molotov at a witch will reduce her running speed a little bit. Unless she is the wandering witch, then she will still run.
Yes, the classic burn the witch at the stake. I always approved of it. Heck, I was a victim of it myself. Though it never did kill me, though. Just burned and itched for a few days, but nothing my own magic could have cured from that. Well, for a while at least, before I finally realized my body actually was dying, and then I was found by this modern Joker Jetsparks. Or at least until I basically cast a spell that trapped my soul in my cane, and I ended up in the modern age when he touched it.
So wait, you burn witches at the stake for magic, and yet you do magic yourself? It's a little hypocritical, don't you think, Doc?
Well, yes, they respected me because I also was a man of the cloth, and again, they respected plague doctors in my time, so no one really batted any eyes because I was cast little memory spells on people. Just a little cheeky thing I did. So nobody suspected a thing.
Me and not for me.
Yes, if that's the way you want to put it, then yes, rules for thee, not for me. But who's one? I was never one for a stickler. I was never a stickler for the rules. I always wanted to commit unspeakable acts of torture and always conducting a lot of experiments, mostly on corpses. You could say I was the Victor Frankenstein before Victor Frankenstein was a thing.
It's Frankenstein.
At the same
It's what?
It's Frankenstein.
Frankenstein? Interesting.
Oh, come on. It's a
combat
young Frankenstein reference.
I know the reference. Dr. Vandenberg doesn't. Of course I don't. I'm 800 years old. What do you expect?
So you're almost as almost as old as what Yoda was before he passed.
Essentially, but now my real body is nothing but a pile of dust at this point. Same as my father. And he's probably a dead oak tree, as Jetsbox put it. Yeah, and I'm never taking that back.
I'm just imagining like a pile of dust with a plague doctor and a hat.
That's strange. I think this specimen used to be a plague doctor. Ha! What an asshole. Oh, Spox. Sometimes I actually wish I could just kill you right now. Hey, if you kill me, you die too, Doctor. Unfortunately, yes. If you die, I die too. Sometimes life very much sucks, as you modern people call it.
the witch, everyone should be familiar with dispatching her in the quickest way possible, taking a shotgun and promptly unloading it in the middle of her back or head.
I've never been to the afterlife. Besides, I've never technically died ever. I've been burned, I've been drawn and quartered, I've even been broken the back a few times, but never once have I ever died from any of that stuff. To me, all those things were just minor inconveniences for me. But it was all part of the path to find my ultimate goal of finding the great Cthulhu, and that's also the reason why I also Spock managed to whip this up really quickly.
Therapy will ever make this moment okay.
Oh wait, no, Coolio's dead. What am I talking about? I was about to say, don't play that song. Coolio's quite sensitive to people using it for too long. But wait, he's dead!
On YouTube, I know of a gamer parody of that song that I really like called Gamer's Paradise.
I need to see that shit.
Yeah.
Yes, given what I've seen of that song, it seems like it's the national anthem of all plague doctors everywhere. Including the one that's being held by the SBC Foundation.
In what is known as crowning the witch. This maneuver can be successful unless you're playing realism or expert difficulty. If you do end up pissing the witch off, you can run back to areas that she will not attack, like the safe room or a high perch, and she will give up on her chase. When you're playing as the special infected, you can see the witch spawn in a white silhouette that turns red when she is startled. Plan your next attack accordingly with the witch, since she has the power to instantly incap a survivor, or if you're playing realism versus insta-kill them. If you're playing as the smoker, set up behind the witch and try pulling a survivor towards her. Even if you don't pull them the whole way, you have a chance at the survivors accidentally shooting.
Friendly fire.
Jockeys and chargers should attempt to steer survivors directly towards her to set her off. You can use the boomer's girth to conceal the witch completely. A survivor that sees you from far away will assume that they can get a clean kill and prevent anyone getting booned, when actually blowing you up will trigger the witch. Be careful though, as sometimes the boomer's explosion can sometimes not set off the witch. Not only can special infected do well in forcing a survivor,
I wanted to ask, you guys want to check out this video next? It's called Infectious Stupidity.
Hey, that's me.
That's you, Bears. You.
To approach her, they can also
The witch goes full Metal Gear Solid.
Earlier, I said a survivor can KO the witch by crowning her as a special infected. Try to run interference before they get close enough to kill her. Hunters fill this role pretty well since they can attack a survivor the fastest, but a charger and jockey and even smoker can do just as well. Hell, even a spitter can spit around the radius of the witch to deter the survivor from approaching. Also, keep in mind, if a survivor is anywhere even remotely close to her, try scratching her. This will elevate her rage meter and cause her to possibly even stand up and be ready to attack. That's some science and pro tips on Yo Girl, but let's give her more than just the tip and see what kind of trivia we can dig up. The Bride Witch on the passing will have a very creepy rendition of the song Here Comes the Bride, and if you startle her, a horde will spawn of zombies and tuxes, maybe her angry family reception thinking you're the man that left her on the altar. You can also piss the Bride Witch.
I've always wondered that. Looks like Bears goes again.
Well, needless to say, SpaghettiOs.
There it goes.
Without approaching her or attacking her. If you play the sound system near her, the changing of Here Comes the Bride song to a Midnight Rider song will trigger her. In the beta tests of the game, once startled, the witch would originally try killing the entire survivor team, but Valve cut this as it was way too difficult and frustrating for a team to try to combat. And I can actually see somebody accidentally shooting.
Kathy, you are absolutely right. Wait, I'm not a ghost. What do you want? Want me to start buying? Fine, I'll do it. Doc, I think she means it's an acronym for greatest of all time. Oh. Ha! Victory is mine! Alright, see you, Bears. Yes. Goodbye, dear old sign. You will be certainly missed.
And everyone screaming at the original offender. She also originally had darker underwear and black hair, but white hair is edgier and more realistic anyways. Despite wandering witches spawning exclusively in daytime levels, the finales of both Dead Center and Swamp Fever will only spawn sitting witches despite it still being in broad daylight. She is also the root cause of a lot of wet dreams from sick individuals. That about covers the witch.
Say again?
I was just saying bye to Bears because I was in the middle of looking for something for him.
Okay.
That video that I was talking about Gamers Paradise. The problem
this time
is
around,
there's
was there something
I
missed? Did you have a piece of trivia or factoid you wanted to add? Let me know in the comments, or you.
Let's look that up. Let's look that one video up.
I hate ads. That's not it. Or that's not a good one, at least.
Okay, it's not working right. Oh, bravo, this box. Ooh, that's brutal. Found what you're looking for, Drew?
What's up?
Have you found what you're looking for the deal sign?
I'm still looking for a good one at this point. The problem is that there's a lot of shitty YouTubers on YouTube.
Indeed, there are. I mean, just look at the one you're on right now. Hardy har, Doctor. Hardy har.
I would go the opposite way talking about Jet, just saying.
Yeah, Drew. Dr. Vandenberg is like the master of snark. And don't you forget it.
I would say with some of these that I've seen so far, with trying to find a good Gamers Paradise video to send to Bears, I would dare even say that some of these are even worse than my shit, and my shit is shitty shit. Just saying.
That's no way to look out for yourself, Drew. The only person who's really shit at his job is Mr. Sparks here. You really love dumping on me, don't you, Doctor? Of course! I'm stuck inside your body. What do you expect?
Doctor, wouldn't that mean that you're just dumping on yourself too, then?
Yeah, Doc. I feel sad now. Yeah, you should, you sucker.
Let's try this one.
Opposite aluminum baseball bats.
Who the hell are you?
Okay, that which sounds like a deadite.
Do you have any idea who I am? Basically, kind of a big deal.
I'll swallow your soul!
Yes, totally not a deadite.
Come get some, you frickin' wuss!
Oh, she's not letting that's it. She's gonna take that thing down. Ah, the fool. Ooh, brutal! Ouch. Oh. Your hand was on the button there, Doctor. There's only one thing that has to be said for that.
Well, needless to say, SpaghettiOs.
Oh, that's nasty. Who does this man think he is? John Wick? Well, we'll just keep watching through this dog. Oh, hello there, head crab. Okay, how many bullets was in that gun again? Ouch. My next one's to just feeling that. Wow, home run! Okay, that defies the laws of physics. I don't know that much about physics. Oh, hey, look, Spock. It's that one creature you were trying to save in that Dark Carnival campaign, but failed successfully. Yeah, Doc, don't ever let me live that down. And besides, that was just an unforeseen outcome. Yes, unfortunately it was. Oh, she's going to beg for mercy, is she? Just keep watching, Doctor. Oh, off with her head. Oh, he was having a Scrubs moment. Well, now he's dead, isn't he? I'd say, yeah, Doc. He's dead. Why is one of the zombies smoking? I don't know, Doc. Don't question it. and that's it? He gets sucked in the jaw? I would have wanted to see something far more gruesome than that. Oh. Drew, what happened?
Sorry I disappeared. I hit the wrong fucking button.
Uh-oh. That's why we gotta use it again.
Well, needless to say, SPAGHETTIOS.
Yeah, I realized that I closed the window that had StreamYards on it.
It's alright, Drew. It's alright.
I was trying to close the other one, and I hit the wrong X.
Oops. Infectious stupidity.
Yeah, shut up. Talking to machines again.
One of those prove you're not a robot.
No, my phone went off with the notification. I'm like, shut up.
Oh.
Because my phone's right in my hand and I'm trying to do something else on it.
I see.
Trying to bring up the YouTube app because I can't find a way to send the video on my laptop directly to Bears. So, got to do it on my phone instead. Because I know, well, I can't find the one that I was looking for, but I got a different gamer one that I know he would like. Because I shared this on Twitter previously, and it got a lot of likes on it, so.
I see. Let's continue. Well, while you're doing that, we'll let everyone enjoy and see the reaction of some of the videos.
Well, and I might as well send it to you too, Jet, because while I'm here.
All right, go ahead.
Let's go, people.
Come on, let's move.
Man, I love malls. I do. Once.
Now, if I listen to this, will this be the last one?
Nope. God damn it.
Well, so then I feel bad for that Nick though. I think they're all planning attack. They must be playing versus mode.
Hopefully that takes.
It's like get moving. What? No. God damn it!
It looks like it did, or it's still trying to send it.
Jeez, what a face.
Okay, apparently I sent it twice, okay.
Alright then.
Whatever.
Yeah, from town?
Machines.
All we have is candlelight back then. Again, what a face to be making, just standing at something. Debating on whether to pick it up or not.
Because the video that I sent you guys is centered around the console wars. Because I couldn't find the Gamers Paradise thing, because I don't think the one that I saw at the time exists on YouTube anymore, because I don't see it anywhere.
Yep, YouTube will always delete some, always try to delete something.
But then again, I saw it like 7 years ago, so which was right around the time that I first got my Xbox One. So,
all right then.
So that ought to give you a clue on what consoles are being used in the video.
I see.
Except for I think they were using the Wii U, the PS3, and the 360 though. So.
I see. I think there was a song. I think I recall Spock singing something called "I Hate Wii."
Yeah, I don't like piss either.
Oh, that's hard.
Keep up.
Okay.
And failure. Yeah, this is foolhardy. He's like, Boomer Bile, please. Thank you. Fire in the hole.
Chicken ain't nothing but a bird.
And the hunter just recovered, and he gets Boomer Bile all over him. I just love some of the reactions on their faces here.
Yeah, the guy in the hat is effectively me with the expression of, and why am I supposed to care?
What are we waiting for? Let's go.
Okay.
Baseball. Hey, it's okay. You tried your best. This one's good. Okay, lower me down.
I can tell you last time Keith and I made fireworks.
No.
I didn't know shit about chemistry, but Keith thinking gasoline burns, doesn't it?
It's too heavy.
What the hell's making that noise?
What was that?
That was the boomer and the smoker trying to lower him down his tongue, but the boomer was too heavy.
Alice, time to move.
Sure.
I ain't doing that. I can't do it.
What a cute couple.
Goes Metal Gear Solid. I think some people ship the witch and the hunter together. I think. Is that another one of those Tumblr posts you told me about? Yep, Doc. And again, just don't find any Rule 34 stuff. Oh dear God, I can only imagine how bad that is. Yes, at least I understand what that term is.
It's a mail-order bride.
Shit. Help! We got a bitch.
How dare you say that to me?
Candy ass bitch!
Well, shit.
Oh man, Coach.
Hey, Ellis. Time to move.
Okay.
Get ready, this is gonna set off the alarm.
Yeah, let's do it.
Holy shit! Big freaking zombie!
Alright, time to roll. What? What the fuck?
Hey, Tom.
No! This was a triumph. God damn it! Alright, that's better. Bring your ass home, bitches.
Stop! You violated the law.
Yeah, yes, they used some Cenobites from Skyrim there.
Translation. Why does this damn thing not have any good music on it?
To pay.
No. He basically getting hit for vandalism.
You must now serve out your sentence.
What?
Hope you rot, criminal scum.
Yeah, thank the game. Arrested for vandalism.
That was surprisingly good.
and we have the jockey and the spitter playing chess of all things. I do love a good game of chess. Chess. You know what I meant, Box. And they're just about close to the safe room. Look, there are the survivors! Oh shit, we gotta get them fast! Yeah, that'll be then when you see something like that happen. Two infected riding each other. Okay, that came out so wrong.
I love it.
Oh, shit.
Don't step in acid, kids.
Which would you rather have? Two infected riding each other, or two infected taking turns riding you?
Well, in the case of the jockey, that's all it does is ride on you. Heck, for all we know, it probably humps you too. Heck, I think even Ellis even says, "Is this thing humping me?" Survivors haven't escaped. They just made it to a safe room. In fact, let's look at another one of those infected profiles about the very thing. Very subject of that creature. Oh, here he is.
Wow. We are the jockeys are we. We live underground in a fiberglass tree.
Patreon and the YouTube Super Chat made their voices heard. Special thanks to contributors Lovable Tester, Dancing Wolf, Grant Sicard, Kylie Elizabeth, Evolve This YouTube, Ahmed Harrington, Florian Bibel, Zeno Salvador, Twilight Duck, and Emerald Wolf. After tallying the votes, this week we're opening up the barrels for the monkey-like, maniacally laughing at his own joke, humping addicted Cake Slayer's favorite infected himself. This week we're doing Special Infected Profile, the Jockey. Standing the shortest among the ranks of the Special Infected, prominently because of his hunchbacked monkey-like stature, the Jockey seems to suffer from many different ailments and symptoms worsened by the green flu epidemic. Looking on the surface and on the vocal cues of the Jockey, we can assume two different possibilities on its medical afflictions. Its spine curved to the point where it doesn't really seem to have a neck on the Jockey, but rather a hunchback deformity on the specimen to the point where he may begin yelling "Sanctuary." My What Exactly Is the Infection in Left 4 Dead video, the Jockey prior to the infection briefly explained in my What Exactly Is the Infection in Left 4 Dead video, the Jockey prior to the infection may have been confined to a wheelchair due to paralysis. As I described with the smoker, the green flu would enhance regenerative abilities in the infected.
Okay, we did not need to see. We did not need to see that. Oh dear God.
Fortunately, I was searching for Twitter on my computer, and I wasn't looking at it.
Ugh. Unfortunately, we were, but dear God.
Although, to be fair, if I had looked up at my other screen, I would have seen it too, but fortunately, I wasn't looking up either.
Well, that's lucky you.
Causing the Jockey to hunch over to such an extreme degree. The vocal cues and eyes of the Jockey would also hint at the host suffering from dementia. Dementia basically causing a person to go insane, laughing maniacally, and not grasping the severity of a given situation. This would explain how the Jockey is constantly laughing either when it's running around normally, spotting a survivor, or riding a victim to their death. The Jockey's eyes are also the most widened and insane.
What?
That reminds me of these stupid kids that play Minecraft yelling at people for liking no build.
Oh, you mean no build? You mean the one thing that they do when they can basically hide because they're too scared to face confrontation?
No, I mean you can play. You can play Fortnite without having to worry about building shit.
I know that, and those children love to build things because they're too scared of being confronted with things.
Oh yeah, well, now I get what you're talking about now.
Yes, children do not like to face defeat. They always like to win, and when they do, they cry or they scream like the babies they actually are. They haven't even gotten to the infantile stage yet. Heck, I don't even think most adults have even got past that point in this modern time. It's actually truly sad. Seriously, Sparks, your world is very screwed up. Yeah, unfortunately, Doc, but hey, what are you gonna do?
Looking of
hopefully things will start getting better come the start of next year.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, given where I am, as much as I would like to have everything get some better with a certain time in a month or so, yeah, I'm not holding out because I think this place is still gonna nothing's really gonna change, at least where I live in the state I'm in.
All I know is by the middle of next year, I will be long out in Arizona by then. So.
Nice part of the sunny sun belt. I wish I could live out there, but there'd be a lot less like.
All I know is once I'm out there, I'm probably gonna be quoting Anakin Skywalker a whole lot more. I hate sand.
Gaze or whited out pupils, the jockey's pupils are detailed.
Yes. Isn't sand like literally his worst nightmare? I mean, I can only imagine what happens if he opens up the Ark of the Covenant.
And look as if he hadn't slept since Left 4 Dead 2 came out in 2009.
At the time, it's over 12 years old now.
These symptoms may also be an irreversible.
If I looked like that, I wouldn't sleep for that long either.
Effect of severe brain damage. Those at Valve even stated in their developer commentary that the jockey does suffer from mania, which is the root cause of his laughter. Looking at the
Hey, what do you know, Doc? He basically described you in a nutshell. I actually would take that as a compliment.
Jockey even closer, we can see that these signs of dementia or insanity are strengthened by how twitchy the jockey is consistently, whether you're looking through first or third person perspective. The jockey will constantly be darting its head all around while his head will shake sporadically. While in first person, he will be positioned like a praying mantis and his right hand will shake frantically while the left hand will twitch every few seconds, which may indicate that the jockey is right-handed or possibly even right-brained. Right-brained individuals are said to be more creative, outward-thinking, and visualizing a less critical thought process, which may also contribute to his maniacal state. Yes, I'm saying creatives tend to be more insane, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, right?
Oh, that's so me. But skipping over that part.
Stained blood red, whether it's from his or a victim's blood, is unknown. The jockey's lips and skin around its mouth have rotted or been torn off, revealing its purty smile.
Ugh. Well, I know one thing. Dental standards were not very good in my time either. Oh well.
Making a zombie dentist's life much easier. He may also have chewed off his lips, as many people develop nervous habits like chewing their lips and biting their nails as either a sign of OCD or as a coping mechanism. The skeletal form of the jockey's dental work resembling baboon lips slightly. These deformities bear resemblance to that of a common baboon, which may have been a goal of the creators. The jockey seems to have made most of his muscle enhancements similar to the hunters, both having their leg and lower body muscles developed enough to jump great heights. But the jockey getting the short end of the stick on how far he can go. While the hunter has to crouch to prep his lower half to spring up to 3-story heights, the jockey is free to jump 15 to 20 feet high at any given time.
Jump up and get down.
Which earned him his unique nickname based on a professional horse rider and tender called jockeys. Since jockeys ride the survivor, this is what their name stems from. Jockeys in real life tend to be rather small, so as to be a lighter load for the horses.
I just love riding, love going fast.
When leaping onto a survivor, he will wrap his legs around their shoulders, rest his torso against the back of their head, and begin to claw at their heads with his elongated and jagged fingers. The combination of having an insane, hunchbacked, rotting screaming, laughing individual on their head, clawing their face up, causes the survivors to drop everything they're doing to get the jockey off their head. It's important to note the jockey doesn't necessarily have to jump onto a survivor's head, they just need to land on their head from a slightly higher position and they will latch on. This will occur even if the jockey did mean to drop on top of them or not. The jockey uses his panic to steer the snatched survivor in any direction it wants, but not with 100% control. Unlike being smoked or charged in a given situation where the survivor is completely helpless, the survivor has the ability to somewhat resist the direction in which the jockey is trying to take them. If you're the jockey, try and be unpredictable in the direction you're taking a survivor so they have less chance of resisting your influence. Now, if you are the survivor in this situation, go in the very opposite direction you feel the jockey is taking you. You will take 4 damage per second, but at least you will slow down how far the jockey can separate you from your group or lead you into hazards like spit, fire, or a ledge, which leads me to the next portion of the video, tips and tricks for playing as and against the jockey in.
But that's as far as we're gonna go with that. Now there is another one, but I will actually go straight into something else from the same person. Now here we go. But no, I think we'll cover that next time. Next time Bez is here. Let's see. Something horror. Oh, well, this is close enough.
Alright, you guys weren't that big of fans of the whole why you wouldn't survive a Pokemon War thing, so I figured let's get back to a more carnage-oriented series again. So this time around, we are stating the obvious on a universe that ups the violence and bloodshed to a level where Mortal Kombat and Celebrity Deathmatch would be proud. This week, we are covering Stick a Chainsaw on a Gun and Make It Iconic, Rise of the Underminers, all aboard the coal train, baby. Rip and tear, things that go in the night. You can vote who dies. End of the world, not a tropical island. Pavement sucking, genocide from Down Under game series itself. This week, we tell you why you wouldn't survive the Gears of War Locust Horde. Gears of War. Gears of War. Gears of War. Gears of War. As always, we have to delve into the lore of the series to actually size up the reality that these people live in and the actuality we work our 9-to-5s in. As for the humans, or I should say Sarans, the history of our differently named species is totally different from what we know as humans, even though they can call themselves humans at times. A different planet than Earth, called Sera, is the origin planet of the Sarans, another term for humans. It might get a little confusing, just remember Sarans equal humans and vice versa. They evolved from primates, religious and scientific debates aside, and went on to create societies, forge weapons, and conquer the lands across Sera, eventually starting the Silver Age parallel to our medieval era, approximately 5 centuries before.
Ha! Name drop!
Before the current timeline, where humans were mostly divided between the 2 great empires, Kashkar and Grasnaya. These empires waged war with swords and chariots until the age of Armageddon, which brought forth consistent violent warfare lasting nearly 1,000 years.
1,000 years of war. How is that planet even still standing at that point? That's a long time to be fighting.
Indeed.
Of the sense.
Again?
Indeed.
Bloodshed over land and riches, humanity eventually reached a consensus of peace. This spurred a temporary period called the Era of Silence, which allowed
Era of Silence. Interesting, I like that.
Saran technology, culture, and scientific pursuits to grow exponentially without the distraction of war. With war not on the forefront of human priorities,
that was
also
a
came
cutscene from Gears of War that he used.
Which one?
The one with the lady at the podium here.
Oh yes, this is taken from the 4th game, right? Like this is like where it like goes into a flashback.
Which one?
Well, I think there was like a thing where they showed the flashback of like
this
Emergence
was
Day.
one I think this was from either 1, 2, or 3. I think.
I don't know, but I remember I think there was like one of the newer Gears games. Like I think they showed like a flashback of what happened on Emergence Day.
Silence, which allows Saran technology, culture, and scientific pursuits to grow exponentially without the distraction of war. With war not on the forefront of human priorities, also came overpopulation and the vastly depreciating reserves of energy sources. Again.
Well, basically every stereotypical dystopian ever.
And the same bitterly realistic plot device as Dead Space, Fallout, Doom, and many other franchises. During an excavation for fossil fuels, humans discovered a well of not typical crude brownish blackish oil, but a bright yellow liquid later referred to as emulsion, which would be later discovered to be a living organism. For a while, it was considered useless until a Dr. Helen Cooper devised the light mass process, which gave this new emulsion extremely high capabilities of energy production at a low cost, surpassing what fossil fuels and even nuclear energies could power in total. This scientific and energetic break.
Seriously, this bright yellow goo was more powerful than nuclear energy? That's a little odd.
Breakthrough made oil and solar energy obsolete, rendering the.
I'm just picturing the things that could get made with it now.
Like what?
Like nuclear hand grenades.
That would be overkill. I know that. But I think I know in the Fallout games they have like portable nukes.
Yeah, that was one direction.
Yeah, but again, using a nuke, just using nukes nonchalantly, that's kind of overkill.
And but then again, that liquid is supposed to be more powerful than that. So, nuclear hand grenade that's more powerful than a nuclear hand grenade.
Yeah, but even then, it's kind of even more crazy that even now, when we get into this a little bit further,
although picture cell phones being made with that instead of whatever is in our phones, that would
basically a lot of transistors, gold, and just powered by electrical currents and lithium ion batteries.
But now giving
so that would give new meaning to someone's blowing up my phone. Ha ha.
Oh, if only the old sign here, he'd be laughing his head off. He's so punny, isn't he?
Serves to acquire economic power to reign over others, effectively throwing the entire global economy into disarray as countries that were profiting from oil reserves were bankrupt, while countries that discovered emulsion reserves saw an explosion in profits, but not for long. Previous countries and governments of power would see to invading and waging war over this new resource. This is pretty much what would be going on in our world as well. Now, Sarin ideologies culminated over time, starting off as a minor political faction. The Coalition of Ordered Governments, or COGS, was a socialist organization that rose to power with the advent of emulsion and the
freaking commies. I can't believe the commies were the good guys in this game.
Political and economic strife it created. This rise was mainly as a countermeasure to the UIR, Union of Independent Republics, and soon the pendulum wars between these two factions waged on for a total of 79 years, breaking
nearly 8 decades. Once again, with all that advanced technology, how the hell was Sarah not completely destroyed as it was with all that warfare?
The temporary peace that humanity had. Defending emulsion reservoirs and key points, this war would
go back.
Humanity had. Defending emulsion.
Wait, that looks a lot like Orabesh from Star Wars. God damn it, Cliffy.
Reservoirs and key points, this war would see hundreds of thousands of casualties. It wasn't until the UIR had begun developing a technology to create satellite-based superweapons that this war finally started to see a solution in the nearby horizon, reminiscent of the space warfare via satellites that former U.S. President Ronald Reagan proposed.
Yeah, I know. Cliffy B pretty much left. Like Microsoft left like Epic Games long since ago. And of course he tried to create 2 failed games. One was Lawbreakers, which was basically an Overwatch clone, and of course you had Radical Heights that was trying to cash in on the Battle Royale genre, which pretty much went nowhere.
In the 1980s. However, the COGS raided the compound knowing of the weapon's destructive capabilities and took the schematics and resources for themselves, leading into the Battle of Bonberg. 2 years later, the UIR besieged COG forces until the satellite weapon known as the Hammer of Dawn was finally unleashed thanks to the developments of Adam Phoenix, raining down a hellish fire that destroyed 5 UIR ships and forced them to retreat and eventually sign an armistice to end the almost 8-decade war. This led to the COGS establishing dominance.
Once again, how is the planet not already destroyed? especially with weapons of mass destruction like that. Essentially, that's what the Hammer of Dawn basically is.
In the ideologies of world politics and numerous governments that once held UIR leadership. This just about new world order only lasted for 6 weeks, and then everything changed when the Locust Nation attacked. Emergence Day, or E-Day, set a new course for the Sarans when they realized they were not the only intelligent species on the planet Sera. Erupting from the ground beneath their feet, the Sarans were ambushed in mostly every major city on the planet. This subterranean surprise attack was so overwhelming with the sheer numbers, weaponry, and diversity in the new Locust forces that 25% of the total human population was exterminated within the first day. With
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, so no, one thing, but I know if we were doing the flood from Halo, that would have happened within a matter of hours. Almost half the human population would have been wiped out in just a few hours or so if it was the flood we were dealing with. I think Zach has. I think he has like why you wouldn't survive the flood infection.
Major factions of military resistance failing to an attack that swept them from under the rug, humanity was clueless as to why this was occurring, considering all authorities had no control as men, women, and children were slaughtered without a hint of mercy or hesitation. Any surviving citizens would seek refuge within COG safety compounds, but resources would begin to wane fast. The only major part of human civilization left that held any kind of sanctum against the burrowing strategies of the Locust Horde was on the Jacinto Plateau, built upon solid granite and any far-out islands, showing that their most successful means of attack were literally tunneling and coming out from under their enemies to swiftly overwhelm, execute, and harvest. This tunneling civilization was an unknown to man. No one had even made contact with them or knew of their existence, and more importantly, their capabilities, even with the highest intelligence agencies the world's governments had to offer. Well, all except for 2 people, which will be discussed as we approach discussing the second fatal threat to mankind. What overwhelmed the humans in such a short time was the terrifying brutality and arsenal the Locust Horde had at their disposal upon emergence, as well as salvaging any and all human resources and weaponry to up their lethality.
I still can't believe those are actually the females of their species.
With the Locusts living in the intricate tunnel system deep in the Earth's crust with even
Yeah, apparently it is.
2 sections, the inner and outer hollows. The hollows harbored creatures that were indigenous to this network and were inducted into the armed military might of these reptilian bipeds. The prominent species and infantry of the Locust Horde were labeled as drones, working to dethrone humanity's foothold on the surface world. Ironically, the species originated...
So all of their females were Abby from The Last of Us Part 2. Haha.
As in the
come to see even before that was actually a thing.
Had been working
but I mean, they're aliens or severely mutated humans, so it doesn't really count.
The emulsion of the Hollows became severely mutated into creatures known as the Sires, with their children being genetically mutated even further. The government covered up this abomination and banished them to the Hollows, sending the kids off to an experimental lab far away, thereafter quarantining any civilians or workers from entering the catacombs of the Hollows any further. The 7 decades following had the Sires mating and eventually creating the race of drones we know today. The typical drone stands on average 7 feet tall, with most having a high muscle mass and rough skin, making them much more resilient and tougher than a typical human being, especially for specialists that work with explosives. They have multiple internal organs, a wide peripheral and almost prominent night vision due to the darkness of the Hollows, and have a heightened sense of smell. Basically, even with the lowest ranking officers of this army can take even heavy amounts of gunfire, blood loss, and can ambush in the dead of night with ease. However, they are extra sensitive to bright flashes of light, so they will be wearing goggles most of the time. As a majority, they are naturally violent and quick to attack, and can be skilled in all types of weaponry, including snipers, flamethrowers, demolitionists, and whatever guns they can acquire from dead humans, and can tame and master creatures of the Hollow. Other variants of these drones include a multitude of versions of the Boomer. No, not you. Take some Pepto-Bismol and sit in the corner, buddy. The Boomer is a hulking version of a drone that is severely lacking intelligence, but can be deadly proficient with either explosive launchers, miniguns, and bladed shields. But they will scream what they're doing before they even attack, so they're not really stealthy, and they're more like anime characters announcing what attack they're about to execute. But now you are probably wondering, do they have sex? Answer, well, actually, you don't want to know, but if you do, the whole part of this race is that the
dear. When I hear that word, I don't want to know.
They're overtly violent. So the females of this species, much like the females in the animal kingdom like bonobos, hyenas, anglerfish, and a majority of insects, are superior in strength. However, the female locust is referred to as a berserker.
Yep, that's the female. Oh dear.
The berserker.
Yeah, but let's skip over that part. We don't need to know that section of that biology. And
down.
plus, there are a few words that I'm pretty sure YouTube is not comfortable with not comfortable with people
And
hearing.
forced to reproduce in order to keep the numbers of the locust population ever growing. They do have a hierarchy and militaristic system in their horde and show a great amount of strategic execution, led by Queen Mira, a former scientist who was also exiled by the government's attempt to cover up the emulsion mutations, established dominance in the growing numbers of the locust and militarized them. Even though mostly brutish with the leadership of Mira, their society and race were given direction and absolute cunning wartime strategies to ward off the lambent that were coming down on them and to bring down humanity. Ground troops tend to inherently try to charge into battle, a tactic that cogs and human infantry assumed all drones do. However, commanders like General Ram and the Queen coordinated these forces on the field to attack in a coordinated effort that would overwhelm humans. Besides the capabilities of the drones, they command animals and creatures created or that were native to the hollows of Sarah, commanding giant beasts like the 50-foot tall Brumac, who, with its sheer strength alone, can tip over tanks and large mounted vehicles, even plow through structures. They are fitted with machine guns and artillery on its back to basically be a living, breathing tank leviathan. On the opposite end of the size scale, we have tickers, small rodent reptilian hybrids that click as they move. They're hard to spot in a stressful situation and are fairly deadly considering the fact that drones strap tanks of emulsion to their back in order to explode with the slightest amount of impact, to either act as landmines for armored vehicles or kamikaze cogs and other surface-dwelling ground troops. Then there are the grunts, I mean wretches that are large in numbers, but basically used as cannon fodder to overwhelm Sarans and deplete their ammunition while drones advance. These guys crave human flesh and will eat you alive if pinned down. If you're an arachnophobic, a corpser may send you into a heart attack before it even kills you. One of the primary natural...
I've always found arachnophobia very interesting, but they actually help add and keep the insect population down. So don't judge spiders too harshly, people.
That reminds me of one thing that I love from the Halo series, just walking up without getting spotted yet, just listening to the grunts talking, then suddenly they say, you're like, it's the demon, run!
Ah, yes. It's even more funnier when they're sleeping and you can basically just kill them with the butt of your rifle.
If only I could just walk up to them while sleeping, just tap them on the shoulder and go, boo.
I think
it's the demon. Anyway.
I think Master Chief does that in like 2 when he infiltrates like High Charity.
Denizens of the hollows that the drones use to burrow underground at rapid rates and surface stealthily. Able to destroy a multitude of things with their jagged spider claws, it takes the capabilities of heavy cannon fire or satellite strikes to take them out. These guys are the reason the locusts are able to come from the ground so easily and overwhelm. The drones are able to command and conquer the land, so surely you can try flying away. Nope! Reavers will fly and take you out with mounted weaponry or be sniped down by the locust rider on its back. They can also land and act as smaller tanks to blow through forces. Locust forces will also ride atop blood mounts, which use their razor-sharp tusks to impale enemies. And most disgustingly, they command cedars that are naturally deadly on their own, but will shoot insect-like nemesis to swarm and devour humans. And also krill that can swarm like carnivorous insects. So basically, it's like they have their own Pokemon that they're sending out. Calling back to my previous video. The hollows in which all of this life existed and was created in was actually burrowed by gigantic worm-like creatures known as riftworms.
Ugh. But one thing I hate worse than worms is giant worms.
Yep.
Made these gigantic-like tunnels because they are spanning the length of between 8 to 10 miles and half a mile wide diameter. They were
what?
Regarded as gods by the locust horde.
That's not a giant worm. That's, I don't know what the fuck that is.
Worms. However, they are all but lying dormant and do not
Well, it's almost like the worst version of the Crate Dragon in the newer Star Wars shows and whatnot.
Pose a threat unless awakened.
You mean in the Knights of the Old Republic game?
No, I think they kind of changed up how they looked in like the Mandalorian. I think that's not how a Crate Dragon looks.
The use of their militaristic strategies, sheer numbers.
But at least they
brute
do
strength,
kind of like bring up the idea that if you kill a Crate Dragon, you get that pearl inside of it.
and multi-useful creatures, they have advantages to be very successful in every situation. These are everything that will erupt from beneath the earth and attack without warning. But you may ask that a race of this size and nature would have been noticed by some of the billions of people on the planet. Well, before Emergence Day, the main character Marcus Phoenix's parents had come in contact with the locusts. His mother Elaine Phoenix went further into the hollows that had been producing the emulsion and discovered the locust race and their natural enemy, the Lambency. She researched both for a time 9 years before Emergence Day and was eventually murdered by drones. Her husband, Adam Phoenix, discovered her dead body as well as the data she had collected while in the hollow and learned of an upcoming attack on the surface. This attack was due mostly in part to a long-standing civil war that the locusts had been engaged in with a creature that erupted from the emulsion. Adam attempted
Oh. So not only was that a bad thing, researching that stuff and using it for energy was a bad thing, but also horribly mutated people.
So finding out the truth gets you killed. Got it.
Apparently.
To bargain.
But of course, governments, whenever they know something that could cause mass panic, they will just kindly sweep it under the rug. But in my time, when the plague broke out, everyone thought it was an act of God, and they were all asking for penance, but it did them no good. Hell, they even started beating themselves to repent. No, but people just simply had to embrace their inevitable death, and I had to be the one to carry them out. Sometimes I had to carry out at least 180 bodies a day. So taxing on me. Not to mention I've had a Charlie horse since the Renaissance.
With Queen Mira, who was desperate to get rid of the lambent species, to give him 5 years to construct a weapon to exterminate the lambency infection, just as he did constructing the Hammer of Dawn to end the Pendulum Wars. After 4 years, the lambent crawling further up the hollows had pushed the locusts enough to where they felt forced to surface to gain ground back against their looming threat. The humans were carelessly using the hollows as a dumping ground for hazardous waste, and with the Pendulum Wars coming into full swing, Adam Phoenix had invested all of his efforts into the Hammer of Dawn instead of a cure to the lambent infection. The time had run out.
So in other words, the humans caused their own problem with Emergence Day effectively.
Seems like it. Well, once again, it just really kind of depicts us humans as the bad guys, really. We're like the true, real bad guys.
Commenced. 1 year into the excursion following Emergence Day, leaders of the COG realized how futile most counter efforts were against the ever-pervasive forces of the Locust Horde. Ethical dilemmas ensued, debating over the use of the Hammer of Dawn technology, but on a much more grander and destructive scale. The signing of the Fortification Act initiated the only counterattack the humans had left with their backs against a wall in one of the only safe havens left in the Jacinto Plateau. Knowing the ramifications of loss and environmental impact versus allowing Locust infantry to consistently salvage deadly human weaponry as the spoils of war, the Hammer of Dawn targeted all surface level land on the planet and commenced a total and complete annihilation event. A majority of the planet was basically burned to ash instantly outside of the Jacinto Plateau, killing all above ground drones and Locust forces, but at the cost of millions and millions of innocent lives. People were instantly turned to ash, frozen in time. The Hammer of Dawn strikes left behind a planet scorched enough to where it took a total of 5 days before the ashes allowed sunlight to peer through the sky. However,
that's a lot faster than a nuclear winter. Because usually when all those nukes go off, it's gonna be stuck there for months, if not years.
This, mixed with raging forest fires and the explosions of chemical plants, led to massive ground and air pollution, plunging the planet into a post-apocalyptic landscape, except for you guessed it, the Jacinto Plateau. It took 14 years of constant warfare and near extinction before humanity concocted and perfected the light mass bomb, a sort of emulsion nuclear device that was mapped out by a sonic locator to map out the hollows and absolutely destroy the outer hollows. However, this absolute destruction reigned as a short-lived victory. The Locust Horde had been dealt a great blow, but it also had awakened the Riftworm. The priest of the Locust religion managed to take control of the Riftworm, and this big-ass worm took to destroying major military outposts. This deity could only be killed by a skilled team being swallowed and then having them sever all of its hearts, risking never being able to escape its insides. I will stop here and go ahead and say I will be doing a follow-up video of the series to cover the impending enemy that the Lambent imposed on not only the Locusts, but humans, as they are a completely different threat in the way that they fight and basically are like the Flood from Halo, and plus this does encompass the end of the Gears of War trilogy. Usually I discuss what this game's scenarios with the Deadly Forces would be on a worldwide scale. However, this time around it was a threat on a worldwide scale and the ramifications were projected quite vehemently. This scenario is probably the most realistic outcome on how humanity would react to a new energy source and a new war and then have to respond for an invasion of this caliber.
Or it could actually go a lot better. And, you know, everyone shares that resource, especially if a lot of countries actually have that resource and it's plentiful.
Yeah.
But I'm not holding my breath because, again, human nature is human nature. Indeed it is, Spox. People will automatically fear they'll fear things they don't understand.
Impactful it was that the humans of the Saren universe changed their calendar system to BE and AE before emergence and after emergence. Previously discussed series like Halo and Dead Space were primarily showing their epidemics unfold in mostly isolated pockets away from Earth to demonstrate their evil carnation's fortitude, with plenty of warning and developments to show what kind of threat they are before reaching Earth in any capacity, to possibly give time to repair and partially engage the not so totally unknown enemy, like the Reapers from Mass Effect invading Earth, even with prominent skepticism. However, Gears of War has an outcome where the threat immediately shows up on our homeworld and proceeds to show what it actually means to us and our well-being as a species. The only big differences being that our world holds multiple different governments and power structures comparative to Gears of War with the COGS and UIR. Planet Earth would also be much more difficult to coordinate a synchronized attack on all major capitals, since much of the landmass is separated by large expanses of ocean. Corpsers and riftworms would risk being flooded trying to burrow beneath the depths of the seven seas, versus Gears of War, where almost one gigantic land mass with scattered islands is a lot easier to manage for burrowing. It is reasonable to think there would be fuel resource wars, but I'm not going to discuss that because I've discussed it 4 or 5 freaking times now, and it's just the bitter reality of what this planet is going to end up becoming. If these attacks were to be successfully coordinated, though, there would be varying success between each city across the globe that was struck. A military deployment in an attack on a city like Washington, D.C. would have a considerable hastily created defense from the army, versus the capital of Iceland, Reykjavik, with limited military. They would be overwhelmed instantaneously. Even with the swift retaliation, the numbers and size of the Locust infantry would be able to easily take gunfire and military strike, with the initial body count of civilians reaching the millions across the globe pretty quickly. Depending on if
So to put it in plain English, yes, the human race would be screwed. Plain and simple. It's pretty much obvious. But with that being said, though, I think it's about time we wrapped everything up now. So now that, before we go, Drew, is there anything you would like to plug?
Yes. In just a little bit, I will be live on Twitch playing Scorn, which came out yesterday. That's Drew that Underground Gams, because I misspelt my own name on Twitch.
All right.
Yeah, and tomorrow night I will be watching live on Drew that Underground Sunday Night Football, which is Cowboys versus the Eagles tomorrow night. So a live watch party for Sunday Night Football tomorrow night. And that's all I got planned at this point for content.
And you have that link set for your YouTube channel, or have it set for your Twitch channel? I don't think I have the link for your Twitch channel. Send it to me in the private chat. I can put it there.
Let's see. Let me type it out here. There.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
All right. So everyone go check out Drew's Twitch channel right there.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I will be live. Let's see. It's almost 7 o'clock. So within the hours, so before the clock strikes 8 p.m. Central Time, I'll be live on Twitch.
All right then. So with that, with all of that being said, we want to thank you all for joining us, and we will see you next time. Have a spooky day, everyone, and may God and the Force and the power protect you always.
And since I'm playing Scorn, have a scornful night, everybody.
Indeed. Good night, everyone.